frame my question that as well.
Hello.
Yeah. So yeah. So like what we were just talking, I consider Swami Vivekananda to be a guru in the sense that I read his words and it has enforced a sense of strength in me, right? And it does whenever you read that. That is what I gather from there. And eventually then you of course move on to Swami Vivekananda. I'm talking about myself, Swami Sri Ramakrishna. But the point that you just said, that if I met Swami Vivekananda today, then like anything that you read, you're supposed to qualify it by your logic, right? By your buddhi, right? So if I met Swami Vivekananda today, I might be disappointed in different ways.
Correct.
Right. But when I read about him, just like I'm not saying this is propaganda, but propaganda also has the nature that only the best parts come out. Right. So how do we like qualify everything that we read about Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna, that what to take and what not to take, right? That because of course when so much has been written, something by just the nature of it would be fluff, right? Because there are so many people writing about it, and I'm consuming it from so many different people, right? So how do I filter out what to take and what to like not take?
See, one thing is, if you read authentic literature, then the fluff thing will come down by a lot. You can minimize that fluff thing. So generally, Ramakrishna Mission is supposed to be the, they are holding the authenticity of Vivekananda's and Ramakrishna's literature, etc. So the others who are writing, general people who consider Vivekananda as a great person and they just want to write biographies, etc., are not that keen to stick to truth, I guess. I'm not saying totally they don't, or I don't know, but they have their own coloring of it. But here, because Vivekananda himself, while he was living, there were other people who were writing about him or for him, etc. So he corrected also many people. Goodwin was his disciple, etc. He wrote plenty of stuff, etc. Then he corrected. So that way, that is one thing. The second question is, how do you first thing about fluff, and then second.
So that was it basically. How to like get to the source of it. Like how to decide.
How to qualify? You are asking about how can I qualify something, because anything that you read, you should be qualifying yourself.
Yeah.
First thing is add human element in it. You understand human nature, human psychology. Generally, if you are on the lookout for human psychology, how this person thinks, how that person thinks, why that person is thinking like that. Behind everybody's psychology, there are motivations. What is that person's motive to have such kind of psychology, to have such kind of view about the world? Okay, if you go to their motive, and behind the motive there is understanding. What is that person's understanding of life? What is that person's definition of life, etc. Beyond understanding, there is actually realization. What their realization is, according to that, their understanding would be there, and then convictions would be there. Then their motivations will be there, and then that psychology will come. That psychology is set. All of this are not visible things, right? But with practice and experience, and you have the desire that you want to actually look at all these dimensions in a human being, then you will be able to see it. Okay, so if you learn that, and then if you see every human being, you will be able to see from their point of view, not just from your point of view. A teacher is a person who is always on the look, who is always seeing 2 points of view, like at least his own and then the student's point of view also. Otherwise, you cannot be a teacher. And a person who has to be a prophet has to be able to see the whole humanity's point of view, and individual humans also point of view, and his own also. And what is the truth? Objectively, what is truth? It's not just subjective and objectively, not individual point of view, but that also. So okay. Anyway, coming back, your question is like when you read Vivekananda, you just think that he is though a prophet. It's not just a physical person. It is a unit of consciousness that is that is using so-called words and various other ways to reach out with a message for you. Okay, what is that message and what is the essence of that message? You need to be able to catch that, the fire of that message. Okay, so everything else is just hints. Okay.
Yeah.
So mostly in complete works also, I see, if you ask me whether I read all the complete works, volumes, etc., I did not. Because you process more and then you take inputs less. Okay, that is how we develop ourselves. So if I read just one volume, it would be too much for me, overwhelming, and I mean I would be processing that for many years. Therefore, what I was going to say is, in some lectures you can see very clearly that he is going from here and there, etc. He is using logic this way and that way also, and he polemics. They say polemics. So you just expand based on the context and based on the audience also. He brings up certain points of view, and then and there he closes it, etc. And that is written by somebody. You have to imagine the process, how this must have been recorded. Okay, so this person who was good at shorthand must have recorded that and then published. It got published. But if you ask Vivekananda later on, by quoting what he said, etc., then he might actually improve that form. Whatever he said, he might improve, and he will say that that is for them and this is for you. He will tell you. Okay. And also once, for example, funnily, a person was very angry on Vivekananda when he said something in Chennai. After coming from America, there is a great welcoming in Chennai, etc. In Chennai, in one of the lectures, he said something, Vivekananda. He got offended. This person got offended. He drove his horse, he rode his horse and came to Vivekananda. Vivekananda was taking rest in some guest house somewhere, etc. In the evening, he came. And just by looking at Vivekananda, he started shouting, "What were you thinking? You were criticizing this, that, etc." He started saying. Vivekananda simply listened to all of that. Who said I was right? That was his response.
Okay.
Who said I was right? I was wrong. I was angry. I just said that. So all of that heat just got deflated, right? He is also a human being.
Yeah.
You need to be able to understand that. Okay. So, yeah, the question is very important. Good question, because these people, in human form, there are many kinds of people. Humans with mostly beastly qualities, mostly animal qualities. Humans with demonic qualities. But with human qualities. Human with divine qualities. Okay. Human just in name, but really just consciousness and really not even, I mean, much above the divinity like that. Much above means, what do I say? They don't take human bodies that often. Those are. So 5 types of people are there. Okay. So you need to be able to understand. I mean, all of this comes into experience. Like, it's not like we cannot have I have given you answers that are, you can make points of them also, but also experience is there. And like when I am driving, somebody who does not know driving would be amazed, like how I am able to talk so much and move around in the car. I mean, with my one hand, I am able to reverse my cassette player, CD player, etc. So many things I am doing. Okay, I am watching maps also, but I am also doing that. That person would think that, oh my God, what is this person doing? I mean, how is that possible? Either that person must be negligent, and it is dangerous to drive with him. Something like that. Okay. And a tabla person, for example, just a simple stroke also sounds different. And the same tabla, when I play, I cannot play that much. It's a very simple thing. You are able to see how well it is, right?
Yeah.
So experience is such a thing. That is my answer.
Okay, got it. So, when you talk about different people some having beastly qualities, some having human, and some having divine,
yes.
that is completely understandable, because anytime you...
I'll give you words for that. Rakshas Mano, Pashu Mano,
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 Dev Mano,
Dev Mano,
Divya Mano.
Divya Mano. Okay. So these 5.
Okay.
This, yeah. So I think that is logical, because anywhere you put any kind of
All
thing, you can.
everybody will have human forms only.
Yeah. But they will have those sort of behavior.
Tendencies.
It is understandable. We can look at them and we can like sort of categorize them. That,
No, look at them, you will see only human being.
Yeah. But
You
at
need to
their
understand
behavior-
the person.
Yeah. So at their behavior, understanding the person, we'll be able to categorize them. But when you say that
What they are fighting for, this is where I'm just giving you another step.
Yeah.
You said look at them and understand. I said no. You have to go further, deeper. Then you said by their behavior we can tell. Yes, by behavior largely it is relatively definitely better than looking at just their appearance. But more than behavior, if you have to go deeper to actually understand what they are,
what they're fighting for. So
what they're
basically
fighting
what they
for.
want.
Dogs, what they fight for.
Food.
Yeah. So that is where that food is where their importance is. This is how you understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If can you and I fight for food like that?
Not like that.
We have come on for a dinner somewhere.
Yeah.
We both went. Okay.
Yeah.
So there was only one papad.
Yeah.
It was given to me. Will you fight for that?
No.
It was given to you. No. Will I fight for that? No.
Yeah. Understood.
But if you are a dog and I am a dog, then we would definitely do it.
Yes. Understood.
Okay. So what you are fighting for, that is more important.
Understood. Yeah, but when you say that these people, these divine people are, they have taken some, they take forms sometimes
Human
to like
form.
come here, right? Now, so I would just like want to ask more and more details,
yeah.
right? So there is one consciousness, right? So or as I understand, Shiv, like there is Shiv, there is Shakti, right? So Shiv does not care about anything. Shiv, Nirakar, Nirupam, right? It does not care anything. Why does and there is only one Shiv? They're like one as in there is everything is that. There is no one, but then everything is that, right? Now, once you are liberated, you are supposed to like liberation is basically you are part of that, as in my understanding, and please correct me where. So when you say that these people take form sometimes and come back, like Krishna says in that he comes back jab bhi dharma hota hai, it seems like Shiv does care at that particular moment to come back and set things right or in a particular order.
Correct.
Why would someone who's not motivated by anything want to do that?
Number one is this why, question why belongs to the relative realm. Realm means lokam. Okay. So relative plane. And the Nirakara, Nirguna, the I don't care attitude that you are talking about, that is for not the relative realm, that is the absolute realm. Absolute means, you understand the difference? Relative means unless there is a second thing or a third thing, you cannot understand this value, the value of the first one.
Okay.
Unless there is heat, that you know that there can be heat, you don't understand the value of cold. Unless there is light or darkness, you cannot understand the other one also.
Yeah.
So only in relation to each other, you will be able to understand anything like that. This is called the relative world. Dvandvatmaka. Okay. So in this, cause and effect will be there. When you ask a question why, this why, and what are you expecting when you ask the question why? That I will give you an answer that will first mathematically fit with your question.
Yes.
Second thing, it should also have the content, and sincerely there must be actually, mathematically I can fit in. Okay. But and your mouth will be shut now. But later on, when you think about that answer, you might get more questioning. We might get questions. Okay.
Yeah.
So nowadays, when in Instagram, etc., when you see, this person asked this question and this person just gave an answer that seems so stunning, and that is called roasted. This person is roasted. Okay. So this is celebrated nowadays a lot. But that is only Ganitatmak Bhasha. There are three kinds of Bhasha: Ganitatmak Bhasha, Gunatmak Bhasha, Karanatmak Bhasha. A Ganitatmak Bhasha is mathematically both are gone. Now question is there and answer is there, so mathematically they both seem okay. So we think that is a great answer. But no, if you go further, Gunatmaka means there must be quality to that answer. That quality must be actually relevant. Actually, it should have the quality of the answer. And furthermore, the Karanatmak means the root of the whole question must be solved, must be answered. The root of the question must be answered. Okay. So I'm just trying to do that. So when you asked why, okay, why did you get that question? Because you are living in the relative world all the time. So for everything there is a why here. In this world, you will have why because everything is mostly cause and effect and it's a chain kind of thing. Okay. But in the realm of where you're also bringing in that nirvikara, nirguna, nirakara, that does not belong to this world. This world is a reflection of that. Now when I say reflection, is a reflection real? When you go to the mirror, you look at yourself. You are there also and you are here also. Do you think that reflection is real?
No.
But can you say that is not real? That are you not seeing that? You are seeing that.
Yes.
So just because you are seeing it, can you say that is real? No. But it is there. So it is reflection. Now this one, in reality, this absolute thing and the relative world and the absolute world, absolute world nahi hota hai, but absoluteness, that whatever you are saying, this whole world is itself is a reflection of that. Now, in the example that I said is far grosser than what the reality is. So this reflection is the word that I am able, because the language is limited. I had to use the word reflection. Okay. So this is like, for example, water solidifying into ice, and again the same ice can be solidified into water, like that. Now once it is solidified, it can be seen like a relative world, wherein you can interact with it, etc., etc. But once it is melted, then it is just water. Okay. Now can you say this water is different from this ice and ice is different from water?
No.
So they are both the same. Now can you ask why this happens?
As a scientist, I'm supposed to, right? Like a scientist is supposed to.
Why does
water change into
when it solidifies becomes ice?
Okay, you said that you can ask how does it happen. You cannot ask why does it happen.
Why?
Okay.
So why cannot be asked there? Why cannot be asked? Why cannot we ask why? Because it is there. Like there is something that is ultimate, that is there. There is a basis. There is a minimum point from which you can over that point you can build up. You can answer. You can analyze, etc. But why a certain thing exists like that? That basic thing cannot be questioned. That is a fundamental thing. It exists. It is like that. The whole universe is like that. It is by nature like that. So let me concluding. God has many definitions. We are not going there. So if we see that Shiva name you said, so God is everything. That whatever you are able to imagine and beyond, also included in God definition. So that God is like that as nirvikara, nirakara, nirguna, all of that, etc. But the same God wanted for sport's sake, for the sake of sport, Leela. For that sake, he wanted to be many. The one God, when I say one, it is one without a second. There is no second. So that is relativity. Whenever you understand, whenever you hear the word one, unless there is a two or a three, you don't know what one really is. But here when I say one, because of the lack of words, I am calling one. But this one means one without a second. So when God is like that, was as one without a second, just for sport's sake, he wanted to be many, and just as he wished to, because he is all powerful, omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. So he just manifested as the world, and in the world, like he is having fun in all this, like good and evil are part of the world only. So in other religions, faiths, there is God is good. Okay, that thing is here. God is good and God is evil also. I mean, like it's both the same, both together form that word. So now that question of why itself is gone. My answer to your question is that why does God care? God does not care in his full form. God cares as a part of this world.
Okay.
They say in the reflection itself, God cares. In that reflection, there is a problem. There are multiple people. Like for example, you are there. You have 10 children. 10 children are playing amongst themselves. You are busy here. But now when the 10 children, one child, you are saying one child, 2 children, 3 children got cheated by other children. You want to help those? Yes or no? You want to help those? You just went and helped. Now why would? Because you know it is all a game. Why did you involve yourself in the game? Though you know that it is just a game. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the same answer. Like I think you got
Yes. So 2 questions on this, and I'll park both so that I don't forget.
No problem.
The first question is on the why part. Like you cannot ask the question why, but I can ask like why is this room dirty, right? Like why?
You can ask the question why. You may not get an answer that a human intelligent as a human being you have your limitations, right?
Yes.
So your limitations will not be able to get satisfied. Like because of the limitations, you are not able to understand that why.
Yes. So this limitation, like there would, like if you do a scientific inquiry into anything, right? At different periods of time, humans would have found themselves be limited by the scientific, the growth of their time, right? So how can we be sure that this why question like does not have an answer to that we have not been able to arrive at? Instead of like, why are we closing
until somebody arrives? No, I'm not closing.
Yeah.
Until somebody can explain it in words, we will assume that it does not have an answer, right?
Okay.
So
And
you
why-
have to prove, right? If you are saying
okay, so
it can be.
So we okay. so
Number one. That is one answer.
Yeah.
The second answer is mathematically not possible. Mathematically in the sense that logically, because that is beyond logic. Like we are all logic and all mathematics, etc. Whatever scientific answer that you are trying to even seek, the methodology is divide and analyze, right? Divide, analyze, then synchronize. Okay. So what is scientific method? For example, if I have to understand, we don't need to go to the absolute truth or God for understanding this. There is a pigeon. We are seeing the pigeon is flying. It's wonderful. If you are seeing for the first time, okay. Now we both are scientists. We want to understand the pigeon scientifically. How do you do it?
Understand the pigeon side.
Understanding
I have
pigeon.
to get hold of the pigeon to be able to
Okay.
like, of
And
course,
then
see
what
how
do- what
its
do you
movement
do?
and everything, and then get hold of the pigeon, find out all about its anatomy, how would it take flight, and everything around that. Yeah.
No, so that is the limitation. So what happens is what does this science mean, quote unquote? Mean is they would dissect the pigeon. They will individually, very meticulously, they note all of that. They do extremely hard work. I mean, very hard work. They work a lot, and there is a great amount of sincerity also. All of that is given. All of those qualities are all great. But what they are missing is that even though you have analyzed all the material qualities and body, everything that is there, minuscule also you have been able to, but you have analyzed a dead pigeon,
Yeah, right. That's true.
not a live pigeon.
Yeah.
So a pigeon is a pigeon when it is alive. So what was your quest? Your quest was to understand the pigeon. But what did you get? A dead pigeon's understanding. That is what you got. So was science able to, the so-called science was able to scientifically study this pigeon? No.
No.
So that consciousness that pigeon had, that which the dead pigeon does not,
Yeah.
that is not included in your scientific understanding.
Today,
There is something missing. Definitely, is there something missing? The life is missing.
Yeah.
So what is that missing? Have you been able to study it? Then is it not obvious? Is it not common sense? It is observable thing that you are missing life.
Yeah.
So when we are not even able to understand a pigeon scientifically, properly, comprehensively, I mean, why are we even, why are we even expecting ourselves to understand God and that whole level of existence? Because there is something called known world and known universe and unknown universe, right?
Okay.
No, there is a limit for the known universe, that the universe that we have come, and that limit is forever widening. Okay, and as soon as we try to even go to the border, just by somehow it is very difficult. But even if we are trying to reach there, by that time we are seeing furthermore the borders are moving, and our suspicion at this rate, the rate at which we are able to find the facts, by that we can project that we can never catch hold of the border or the whole universe, because there might be so much more to the universe that we will never be able to catch. The scale is sheer, so big. Okay. Yeah.
I'll just say one thing, but I'd like to put this point away so that but scientifically, I think to this point of the known universe and the unknown universe, people at different points in history would not been having
Hubble telescope and the recent one, James Webb telescope.
So even before that, like when you talk about different planets and everything, people would not have been able to imagine things that we were able to do in relatively very quick time, like we as in humans, right? So I'm sure something.
No, I'm just quoting. I'm just repeating words that I hear from the scientific community. I'm not. I mean, whatever in the.
But
YouTube,
that is still humans like deciding for a particular.
Because no, we are limited by the light speed, right?
Yeah.
We are limited by that. So I'm talking about the limitations that.
Of course.
I'm talking about physical limitations. I'm not saying we can't means we want to. That is a different. We might find a method in 20 years. How to go beyond the speed of light, or somehow try to understand. But as of today, they are saying it's not. We're not able to.
So on the point of God coming into this loka, and because
it's not physical. When we say God coming into,
everything is part of God, the absolute, and it is happening relatively in this loka, right? And then
it is like, for example, Rajju Sarpanyaya, which means there is a snake that you are seeing that it is a snake, and there is a reaction. When you see a snake, whatever reactions you will get, that you are getting. But you have somebody who knows has switched on the light, and you thought that whatever you thought was snake was actually a rope. With dim lighting, you thought it was a snake. Okay. Now, was snake real? Was it real in the past, and now present did it become rope? No. So all the time there is only that Nirakara, Nirguna, Parabrahma, that alone is there. But the world that you have seen, but the world that you are experiencing, that you are claiming and you are talking about it so much, has never existed.
Okay.
Has never existed in reality.
Okay.
Now, how do you prove that exists? Is by the effect. Now you will tell me, how can you say it doesn't exist? Because I am feeling the effect. You are also feeling the effect. We are all able to demonstrate the effects.
Yeah.
I say when you see a snake, you are terrified. Your heartbeat quickened, and all of those goosebumps have come. You were trying to run away from the room like anything. Okay. Those are also effects, but there was no snake. In the same way, this world has never been, not in the past, not in the present, nor in the future. It is never a reality in that sense. That is that is the claim. Now I am just trying to make clear what is the claim.
Yeah.
अब आप उसके ऊपर बताइए, मतलब आपका क्वेश्चन जो
to this claim, and I am assuming that I don't know. Let me not assume. Is this claim true? And if it is, what do I do with it?
One is, whether is this claim true? It's a question of like, if you are asking me, then I will have to assume that if I give you an answer, you will believe it.
Yeah.
But are you actually committed to that? See, if you will question somebody, and if you are you actually looking for an answer? And see, because when you are asking me, why are you asking only me? Why didn't you ask your maid?
I'll tell you. I'll respond to that if I may. So my actual question is, what do I do with it? But because you
that
said
is the
this
second
a claim,
question.
Yeah. So actually, because you said this is a claim, so I cannot ask you what do I do with it unless you actually believe in it, right?
You actually believe.
Yeah. So
no, I do believe.
Yeah. So if you
I do believe.
Yeah.
Okay. When you say it is true, like I can say it is true, but how do I back up that? How do I support my answer. What is your next question? Will be how do I support that, right?
Yes.
Then I have my own support. The whole difficulty in understanding spirituality and in conveying spirituality is always this, mainly this, that I can understand spirituality, I can see it as daylight, but when it comes to proving it objectively, like we prove in the material world, we cannot do that. Now, what is the other person, other party saying is, one party, that is spiritual party, the other atheist party or agnostic party, what they are saying is, so we are also sincere, you are also sincere, we believe that you might be sincere. So if you are claiming something and also claiming that you understood it, but you cannot objectively prove it, how that means you are failing in communicating that to the others, to masses. Therefore, that allows us to remain agnostics and atheists because we don't see the proof. Okay. So the flaw here is the flaw of the agnostics, or the flaw is in the expectation itself. Now, whatever I am talking about is the world of consciousness. Whatever standards that you are applying, they belong to material world standards. Okay. So there is material, there is consciousness. We are all used to material world and its laws. And on those laws, we have made certain standards for proof, standards of acceptance for proof. We are applying the same to the material, the conscious world. What we are saying is this is a totally different world. This will have different laws, and because they have different laws, your standards of acceptance must also be different. But here, they are redundantly bringing in the standards of acceptance of the material laws into this world. That is why the difficulty is there.
Understood.
Okay?
Understood.
I'll give you an example so that it will be very clear. There is a piece of chalk. I break it now. Will it break immediately or not?
It should.
It should, right? Because it is material, the cause is my breaking it, and the effect is very immediate. Okay? But if you make your child understand a plus b whole square equal to that theorem is there, or just maybe something, some very basic concept. Okay, you are making your child understand. You have told everything, you have done whatever you have to put in words, you have put, but the child is not able to understand immediately. Just like the piece of chalk you try to break, it immediately broke. So it should work immediately.
Yes.
Anything that is material, one material interacting with the other, the effect is immediate.
Okay.
Or as it should. Like if it should heat up in 1 hour, then it is fixed and it is happening like that. Yeah. But a child, and one child picks up quickly, another child is able to pick up much later. Why is that so?
Because of their own understanding.
That is where we are saying the consciousness is proving there itself that in terms of consciousness, it takes time and it takes repetition. So you need to be able to repeat, you need to be able to give time, then only that person is able to understand. Therefore, abhyasa must be there.
Okay.
And also that patience and time also factors in the consciousness. So the law, what I'm just trying to prove is the laws of materiality don't work in the laws where consciousness is being dealt with.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
This is how I am separating. And coming back to the question, this is why we are saying that when I am able to see something as true, I may not be able to prove it to you objectively and according to material laws like that. But just because of that, if you choose to believe, if you choose to not believe, or if you choose to not improve, not pursue this path, etc., that path is forever lost for you. You are perfectly, you have the right to do so. To choose or not choose, etc. But we cannot say much more than that, because as we grow up, like in evolution, for example, you must have played with toys in the childhood. You are so attached to one toy, probably you were not giving to anybody else. You are crying for that if somebody takes her. But now, where is that toy? If you are attached to that toy so much, You should be carrying it with you, so even now and to your grave.
Yeah.
But what happened is you outgrew that attachment towards that toy. You outgrew it.
Yeah.
Now if I ask you to do the same, you will think that I don't feel like, or you don't have that kind of. Similarly, the money, the fame, or whatever generally is attracted, or people are attracted to in general as masses, don't have that charm on people like me or the others, etc., etc. The same charm, they cannot have it because we outgrew that to something else. We are charmed by something else.
Yeah.
This also cannot be proved. Now, how in very objectively can I prove that? I cannot. Can I?
No.
But I know it.
Yeah.
Therefore, we need to be able to understand. Understand consciousness like that.
Yeah. So you cannot objectively demonstrate that this
because it is not material at all.
Yeah, it's not material at all. But let me say that I also believe that, right? That it is true, right? But that is the problem. I believe that, and
no, if you remain believing, that is a problem. You believe as a first step,
okay,
towards knowing. That is not a problem.
Okay.
You believe, and belief itself is the last step. If that is what you mean by belief, that is it. That is where people become, fundamentalists, and people go people stagnate, and people become, that.
So how do I go from believing to knowing, and how do I know if I'm going at the right?
There is a clear-cut method.
Yeah.
Very clear-cut method. There are many methods, in fact. We need reverence. What I'm seeing is lacking is in the people, lacking the reverence that this is actually there. Number one is reverence. Reverence, I think you understand.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, what the lack is, they have only one life, no? They can either dedicate to this or the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so they rather because it is easier and because it is more attractive according to their own taste, etc. So they rather dedicated there than this. Okay, and third thing is there is no encouragement for dedicating their resources, whatever time, money, energy, attention, etc. that they have, which is limited. There is no encouragement to dedicate that to the study of consciousness. But there is lots and lots of encouragement to dedicate the same things towards the material thing. These are the difficulties in a person. Your question was?
So how do I go from believing to knowing?
Knowing. So that you have to overcome these obstacles that I just listed. If you are willing. First is will, taste, and sincerity, and of course reverence, etc. Then definitely there are paths. Like for example, I will tell you what I think is most scientific or very obvious. Patanjali Yoga Sutras is a work that is there. So Patanjali Yoga Sutra is very sutra is very crisp way. Like he doesn't even take so much time when I am trying to explain, I am using so many words, etc. Sutra means formula type. Not even one letter is more than required. That much is there. So Patanjali Yoga Sutras very clearly from any stage to the perfect stage. You can go. How to go? It is written there.
Okay.
So if one studies that, implements that, keeps on going, you don't need to wait till you are perfect to understand that you are getting results. Stage by stage you will keep getting results, and as you get results you will get more confidence and you will like it more, and you will want to do that only.
What do results look like?
For example, better observation. Just imagine whatever you have done so far with me, like whatever the questions that you are trying to put, and then you are trying to actually listen, okay, and analyze, and come back with your, after processing you are coming back with your whatever next is there. Okay, how many people outside are doing this to any given subject? To any given subject means some subjects they are, but such subjects people are not. So this is one of the results of something that you have done in the past. The ability to do this towards this subject.
Okay.
It has not come just like that.
Okay.
It must have its own cause, right? Right. Similarly, when you start doing that, you will get some other power. This is a power. Okay. You will get some other power. Then you will get some other power. For example, do you practice yoga, hatha yoga, or
Not
something?
physical yoga.
No, physical yoga you don't. Okay. Now in physical yoga there is something called headstand, Shirshasana.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you do that?
No.
I can do it.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't practice for many years, so I may not be able to right away do it. But when I went to Shivananda Yoga Ashrama, the first day itself, I went to a 1 month course. Then the first day itself, there were 20 people in the class. There was some earlier class going on, not our class, earlier class. I just joined. I was asked to join, I joined. Then the first asana they are saying, the teacher said, okay, stand up on your head, and then 19 people stood up on their head. They and looking at me, or I'm looking at them, like I wonder, I cannot do without any wall support or anything. It was really unbelievable for me that that I would be required to do that, and I was really afraid. 10 days. 10th day I was doing it. 10 days, morning and evening, I tried for some time, that's it. Within 10 days, I was able to do it. By the 30th day, I was able to do it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 5 whole minutes. Like 60 into 5, 300 seconds, I was there. I myself was surprised by what I could do. I didn't know that I could do. But I had a teacher, there was a method, I was sincere, I was able to do. I was able to help others also do that. Similarly, Patanjali Yoga Sutras are like that.
Okay. So in Patanjali Yoga Sutra also tells us about the like how to know if you are progressing or not.
The results.
Yeah,
the results matter, yes.
Yeah.
See, it will also enlist what are the results of this practice. It will give you, like ahimsa, if you keep practicing, what is the result? Shaucha, if you keep practicing, what is the result?
Okay.
They will tell you, and you will keep seeing that. The beauty is that one step you are practicing, you are able to perfect, the other step is, that step itself is like nearby. Once you are succeeding, you will feel the other step. Acha, I can, like it is while hiking or what is it, the cliffhanger like kind of thing, when you are mountain climbing. Yeah. Once you go one step, you will think that is all difficult, but once you successfully go there, you will be able to find the other step. Now once you successfully go there, you will be able to find the other step, provided everything is planned. So the Patanjali has planned all of that.
Okay.
Many people have reached great heights with that.
Okay.
And God, who knows, like if you find some gap there, or if you find that end place is wrong or something like that, you can tell us. Then you will be able to help the humanity later on. We are not saying everything is perfect, because I'm a very small, tiny person in front of Patanjali, what that person's contribution was, etc. for the humanity. Okay. Therefore, I am saying like that. But, yeah.
So if there are different methods, so Patanjali tells you about one method, or suppose you read Raj Yoga and you get one method, right? So different forms of meditation, like someone teaches this, like to concentrate on breath, someone else teaches another method. Are you supposed to mix the different methods to like form something, like whatever works for you, or should you stick to one thing?
If I want a projector, I want to use it at my home. I can have Sony projector, Hitachi projector, Epson projector, etc. I can take either one of them. Either one of them gives me some 5 years warranty, 2 years warranty, like that. It depends. Okay. Now, if I take 3 of them, if I mix all of those and assemble somehow with the help of somebody, and that seems to be working. After 1 month, some problem is there. If you go to Sony, what will the Sony say? Warranty?
Yeah, it's gone because
void. Epson warranty void. Nobody gives you warranty. But should you not do it? You can do it. It is your own. You bought all the three, or you bought all the parts also. They are yours. You own them. You can do whatever you want with them. But warranty is void. Warranty is no. There is nobody to.
So there's nobody to guide me anymore because you started something of your own.
Your own. You are liable for that.
Got it. Of course. Then
The whole.
maybe then again the question still remains: should you?
I mean, see, that is what I'm saying. Should you means for your welfare, you should not do that.
Okay.
But can you? I mean, do you have a right? So nowadays, why am I answering like this? Is nowadays the youngsters are not ready to listen. Who are you to tell me what to do, what not to do, etc. This is the kind of attitude they have. So I am trying to be even more polite and tell them these examples, etc. So you can do. I'm not telling you what you can do, what you cannot do. But should you do it means you. I mean,
Should not if you're very frank.
Everything depends on the end destination wherever you want to go. If you want to go in some La La Land, something wherever you can go anywhere, that is also fine. Then you can do anything. But if you want to go to the place where I am trying to explain to you, or to understand that, if that is the fixed destination, then there must be a fixed process, right?
Right.
So people, the problem with the nowadays modern generation is they change the destination also. Today they will want to go somewhere, tomorrow they will want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, right.
So that is why.
Right. Got it. One more question on
No,
another topic now.
Yes, yes.
So there is this thing that just how you think you become or something on those lines, right? It's also written in somewhere in one of the major scriptures. I'm not sure it's with Gita or somewhere else. So, and then if you really believe that, then there is this whole world of affirmations and everything that come to light, right? Now the problem, if it is true, the problem is that the mind keeps on throwing different things, right? And once I accept that whatever I think can come true, then I think a lot of bad things also, right? And then I have to accept that these also might come true. That's only logical. I cannot only think of the good ones to come true, right? So how do I reconcile among them? Because I don't want to support this whole affirmation thing because of this logic that good things and bad things both are coming in your mind. Why take it too seriously, right? That is how
because freedom's sake. Because you are free only if you are able to think bad things at will. You are not free if you have to think only good things.
Okay.
So what is more important, being good or being free? If you have to choose between them, being free. That asserts your independence. Whether being free you will choose good things or bad things is a next question. But first, do you have to be free or not? Do you want to be free or not? Do you want to?
Yes.
And when you want to be free, whether each human being wants to be free or not, they want to. So just to so who are you to dictate to others that they must be good and good alone? They must not be bad. Who am I? Who are you to tell others? I'm asking you, like you can answer that question.
No, I get it. Like if you're restricting yourself to that everything has to be good, then you're basically like building an nest.
You'll be bad. See, that is the beauty of spirituality or true spirituality, and also what I'm saying is the beauty of whole existence itself. By being we are part of that. The beauty is you can go anywhere. You can not just good or not just towards good or something like towards progressiveness. हरास भी कर सकते हो. हरास मतलब destruction. Okay? या अभ्युदय भी कर. अभ्युदय is welfare. So you can go anywhere. You can do anything. See, if you cannot do, if by design you should do only good things, then why if I take a knife and stab you? Why should you die? By design it should be like you cannot die, even if I do that. The design of the existence must be, if it is intelligent, and if it wants to stick only for the good, designed to be good, then the murder should not even be allowed to happen. I mean, by design. Is it like that?
No.
Murders can happen. You can murder.
Yes.
You can do lots of things that you don't want to imagine also. The fact that they are possible in this design tells you that this is not a design that is set to, bind you or oppress you, etc. It's a free design. There is nothing that is in the universe that is trying to bind you and keep you in a particular way or not. Okay? But now the beauty is, through free will, what will you choose? You can choose anything again. What will you choose?
Yeah, so exactly my question. May I?
Please.
Yeah, so exactly this question. So why is this inherent need to think of myself as good or like to be good? I would say
Because by design, if I affirm that you are a good boy, good person, you like it.
Yeah.
You want to prove that you are a good person. You want to prove that you are all love. Not just you, every person. Even Bin Laden, or generally these are the names that we take, but every person wants to prove to not just others, to also himself, to everybody, to the whole world, that there is only goodness in me, there is only love, and there is only expansion and harmony in me. They want to prove. That is their basic. By design itself, that is their basic instinct. I won't say instinct, but something that is a basic design, a drive, urge. Okay. That is why if you do something that is opposite to this urge, that is not contributing to this, that is actually taking you away from this desire, or the fulfillment of this desire, you yourself don't like it.
Yeah.
So a person, unless that person has gone mad or some problem was there, it's a normal person, is not happy by murdering others. It's not just the murdered who is unhappy or like that. It is also the murderer that is unhappy. That is when you understand that is a crime. I mean, how? So because it is not catering or serving our ultimate base purpose, neither yours nor mine nor anybody's, that is wrong. That is how we decide what is wrong and what is right. And the modern people saying that there is nothing right, there is nothing wrong, is plain stupid.
But even this, right? Because it is not satisfying our basic base, it is wrong.
Wrong means no force there that you should not do it. You can do it. You choose to do it. What is there? Then I will also have a choice to do whatever I want to with you if I have the power.
Yeah.
If I don't have the power, again you will. Then it is a game of power. Whoever has power, etc. That is a different matter. So what I'm trying to say is,
I'm coming to the point
there is some natural acceptance. It is not naturally acceptable to me to kill others.
Yeah.
It is not naturally acceptable to you to kill others. Under influence, you might kill somebody. Under some influence, under somebody's influence, some idea's influence, or some agitation of mind, etc., you might kill others. That is a different matter. Naturally, natural acceptance is the same for me, you, for everybody. That is where there is a commonality in the humanity. Natural acceptance. So, behaving according to your natural acceptance is right. Behaving against the natural acceptance is wrong. That is how we are saying that we divide between right and wrong.
We, who is this we?
Anybody who is able to answer your questions.
Okay.
There is again a class here, right?
Yeah.
You have a question, somebody needs to answer that, somebody is doing so, which means that person is different from you.
Yeah.
So this class people are defining what is right, what is wrong based on that.
Okay. So, but even the point that you started off with, that you have to be able to think bad at will to be free, right? Or you are just in a cage.
You are bound.
Yeah.
You are in a prison.
So living like to feed this basic instinct of ours to feel good, to look, to just feel good that we are good people. That is also a prison of sorts, right?
No. You like it. See, the point is, it is a prison only as long as you don't like it. If you like it, even the prison cell is a freedom only, right?
Yeah.
So you like being seen as a good person. So nobody is forcing you to act so that you will get appreciation. You want to do it, you are doing it.
Right.
So how can you say that that is a bondage?
But so think of a really great football player, right? A really great football player. Player plays football. He gets all sorts of compliments that he's a really great player, and he feels good for that compliment every time he gets it. Right? But that is not a free state to be in, right? Because tomorrow, if he breaks a leg, then all those compliments would go away, and it would hurt him, right? So even when he's getting those compliments, he should aspire to be unattached to it, like to the effects of getting those compliments, right?
Yeah. So feelings cannot.
So even though he's liking it, I'm just to that point. Even though he's liking it, that is not like a good thing. So,
Okay.
To the point.
So when I said it is a drive, that is why I didn't use the word feeling. You brought in the word feeling.
Yeah. Okay.
Feeling is a very surface thing.
Okay.
There is a drive. Drive also, I'm not satisfied with that word also. Okay, I'll use the word. It is praman. Praman matlab proof. Proof of your existence. Proof that you are knowledgeable. Proof that you are love itself. That is what you want to see. The proof. See, God, for example, is all holy, love, all those superlatives. Okay. But the play came in when he wants proof of it to himself, for himself.
Okay.
So what should happen? Proof means again second thing has come. One without a second, but you need second thing as a proof, right? So how will he prove? He himself became ignorant person, he himself became knowledgeable person, etc., etc., etc. Made a big structure. Semi-knowledge person, etc. Every stage of knowledge, etc. Brute, materials, jada, sab kuch. And at every stage, we were saying that. So we need proof. So all of these characters also that he has projected. It's not creation, it is projection. Projected. They also want to have the proof.
Okay.
Therefore, so that proving the urge to prove, the basic, the fundamental drive to prove that whatever you are already, which is love and which is harmony and which is all of that, that is there. So your question, can you please repeat that so that we can connect?
So why should I serve this base desire?
You have no choice about it, because you are part of that same God, or you are a projection of that same God. You cannot be other than that God. I mean, like that is the basic urge that he has got, that he means that God has got. You are a projection of the same God. So you don't have a choice not to. You have to, that is all why you are, if you ask a question, why you have children, why you have family, why you have money, why do you want a bike, or why do you want anything, why are you doing anything, why are you existing? For all these questions, the only answer is that you want to prove that you exist. You want people to recognize you. You want a proof that you even exist. How do you prove that you exist? Because most people in Bangalore also, they are so orphaned, they are so lonely, right in front of hundreds and thousands of people, they are not getting the attention that they want. Is every person getting their attention, the attention that they want?
I think every person is looking for more attention.
Looking for. What does it mean? It shows want. There is some
deficit. Yeah.
There is a deficit is there. Yeah. That means they want people to recognize what is the goodness, because people are not recognizing, people are turning to evil. People are becoming more and more evil out of frustration only, that their desire is not, basic desire is not getting fulfilled. Some people will be able to articulate in words, some people not articulate. We will be able to understand. Do you have to, the question is, do you have to do it? There's no choice. That is a design level question. So you cannot ask why that design is there. That is the design. So everything that you do is for that only. So one is that you are that.
But then
one minute. Yeah. One is that you are already that. All good thing. All good means this love and all this great thing, harmony, everything, truth, whatever is there. That is what you are. and you are always there. The other person, the other thing is, you cannot die. See, you imagine that you are dead. Can you imagine?
No,
See, it is so simple that you cannot even imagine that you are dead, because you okay, after death what happens, you don't know.
right.
You are not able to imagine.
Right.
So your continuity, that is also there. This is one level is that all of this is you, inseparably you. Number one. Now what you want is, you want to prove that that is what is you. You want to proof, objective proof that is what is you. This is the second thing. Third thing is you contemplate on it. How do you prove that? Okay, in the existing design, etc. Fourth thing is like that. According to that contemplation, you imagine. According to the imagine, there are desires. According to your desires, there are thoughts. According to those thoughts, there are expectations and selections that you will make such a decision, etc. And according to that, you put physical effort and all of that. You spend your time, etc. Whatever is limited, you do that. And this is only one individual. Similarly, all these levels are there in the other individual also. Like that, there are innumerable individuals. All of them put together on this planet. Now, such planets there are in one solar system. There are so many solar systems, so many Milky Ways. This is how much the existence is.
Yeah. So, does that not make it a prison for me? And my actual question would be, in a practical sense,
A prison? Okay, what is the definition of a prison?
something that limits me and I'm not able to step out of it.
Exactly. Now, you hear in whatever that I just said that you are not feeling the limitation there, right? You are love. When I said you are love, you are continuous.
I'll tell you, I'm feeling the limitation in a practical way, that I have to be good, right?
No. That is because, I'll tell you, that is because we are made to think like that. For example, people have put so many ideas in our minds while bringing up and while interacting in society, etc. That is the pressure. So in pressure, what I'm trying to say is, your desire is good. I mean, your desire means what you are asked to do is also the same thing that what you want to do. Only because you are not expressing in a natural, you are not being good, or you are not getting the proof, you are not able to do in a very natural way, but in a forced way because of these people. For example, you want to marry a particular girl, that is you, but you don't like to have an arranged marriage. But your parents only are asking to marry that same person. You will think that then it will become arranged marriage.
Right.
So there is a sign of pressure. Like, do you see the point?
Yeah.
So if somebody says I will not do that, but if I want to do it, I will do that. You have heard this phrase.
Yes.
Similarly, you also want to be good only, but in a natural pace, with your natural pace, at your sweet time.
Right.
But what is this world around you doing is, it is asking you to do it right now, do it now, do it now, do it now. Do it all the time. That is the pressure that you are feeling. But you also want to do that. Not at their pace, your pace. That mismatch of pace is what is bringing you inconvenience and appearing as prison.
Got it, I understood.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Was I able to tell you?
You're able to touch upon a lot of.
So that mismatch of space, that is what we are experiencing mostly.
So a few practical questions. Whatever your experience has been in this area. About having a routine, or just like having a few things, things you're sure that you want to do or don't want to do, right? I don't want to go clubbing and partying, so I'm sure if I don't have a routine, it does not mean that I'm going to end up in a pub, right? I'll still end up doing something or the other from this list, but that seems like more, like natural. किसी दिन मुझे काम मन कर रहा है to work on this, I'm working at 3 in the night also. I'm not like limited by a routine that I have to sleep at a time. So is a routine the right way to go about it, or it's like just go, just let things happen?
You have to find that balance yourself, like routine, like It also depends. You are a married person, right? You are living with your wife.
Yes, yes.
So her routine and your routine. I think if you live with another person, definitely. Even if I am living with Arunalok, I will have my preferences. He will have his, etc. He needs some space. I need some space, etc.
Yeah.
So it largely depends on the other person's also the common routine. There will be some common routine. And also the influence of the other person's routine on your routine. Okay. Apart from these two, you have now your what is your age?
30.
So 30. You know what are the benefits of having a fixed routine and what are the benefits of having a very flexible routine. So my suggestion would be a mix of both, wherein all essential things like, for example, food you take per time, as per time. Sleep, etc. Recommended. Okay. But if your mind is set on something, then do that. Don't do other thing. If your mind is set, and when it is set, when it is not set, you don't need to force that to get set. Okay.
So have a routine to follow, but if your mind is like
set on something, you can continue that because that is the best time to do that. Otherwise, mind getting set is important.
Got it. To the point that you mentioned that thinking bad things at will, I want to explore that for a minute. So I think of a particular bad scenario at will, and I see the fear coming in me, and I see the like whatever the fear basically. If I'm thinking bad, it must be fear that
bad happening to you or bad you are going to do it.
No, bad
happening to you.
Bad happening to you in somewhere. So. Is this exercise that one does to like be free, or like whenever bad things comes you're just okay with it?
No. What do you mean by bad? Anyway, let us keep generality only.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is mostly like imagination. Like there, I think Nordic saying or some saying is there that says that 9 out of 10 fears that we have will never come true. Okay. But we have 10. We don't know which one will come. So that is also another pressure. Which one might come true.
Yeah.
So the best method is when it comes, you generally be prepared for basic things, etc. You have taken care of some precautions, etc. But other than that, let us see the situation if it happens, then we will respond.
Yeah.
Instead of that, people start responding proactively from beginning. That may be good in companies, for-profit companies, because they want to ensure the profit all the time. That is a machinery kind of a process, machine life, wherein they want to make sure that this quarter's profit nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
But that is not the norm for life, because you will miss out a lot of peace and a lot of those things here. In life, there can be surprises, there can be shocks also. Shocks also are surprises. So don't let any chance of mishap. Don't try to mitigate every kind of risk possible, because most of your energy will be there only all the time, and you will not be able to enjoy life. So let us see when it comes. With that actually frees you up, that attitude. That doesn't mean negligence. For example, insurance, you can take health insurance, life insurance, term insurance, whatever this, life insurance, and emergency fund if you lose a job, etc. If you generally take all precautions according to some studies. But other than that, worrying in the head while not doing anything physically, as a result of what you are worrying in the head, that is again a waste of space in the memory is occupied, right? RAM is full. You cannot do any other work, because to do any other work you have to flush out this whatever is there here. So it's almost like physical space only. Why I record is that my space in my mind is actually occupied with so much that I want to tell the world, that I'm remembering constantly through years. Okay. that I don't want to remember these things anymore. I want to record once and then keep it there, so that anybody wants to ask the same question or something like that, then I can just point them out to some video. Okay, they will hear, and then for clarification they can come to me. But what is happening is, if I don't record, if all these things are in my mind, somebody might come here, I want to say this is the solution, but I want to tell them this. Okay, I'm waiting, I'm trying to remember that, and once I'm forgetting that, I'm getting frustrated. This problem I forgot. What if somebody comes and asks me this? Because I actually want to help people.
Yeah.
With my experience. Now you see this basic what is the motive behind that? That is also the proof that I got the solution. I'm so excited. Okay, I want to show to the others, and when somebody implements that and is successful again, that is the joy that comes from that. No, the happiness. That is really very how do I say, the approval and authentication. This is authentication. And that authentication is the very basic drive. Is it authentication?
Validation.
What did I say? Validation. I know that is valid. But even if it is valid, what use is it if it is not useful? Something may be valid. If it is not useful, then what is that? So it may, whatever things we have understood in life must be useful to others also. Then we get a validation. So what is happening? The game is that every projection, every part of the projection in the universe, like do you understand? The part of the projection is waiting for the other part of the projection to approve and to say that yes, we are all in the same page. Yes, this is the way, etc. So that they are both one.
Yeah.
And everybody must be one. Again, it will form the whole part. Whole. Okay. So all projections have understood the whole game, etc. All of that. So that is do you understand?
So everybody will have to understand the game
until the other people also understand. This person also is not peaceful really. In reality.
Okay.
If I am happy, I have understood all these things, right? But if you don't understand, I will feel something is lacking. If that person, if the whole world, anybody is doing anything wrong, I feel responsible.
Is this not a losing game?
No, overall you have to win. So it is what do you define by losing game?
Like there are not many people who are like world pop culture, and
so you are continuous being. No, that is exactly why you don't die ever. You are a continuous being.
You keep doing this,
and you have a continuous game to play. So one life, one body is falling so short of what you have to achieve.
So the game,
and this is why a person wants to come back again. There is a desire is within you. So once desire is there, material has to serve consciousness. So the desires of the consciousness must be fulfilled, and material actually, how do I say, I am not finding a real word, but material will form some body somewhere so that the consciousness can use this. So material has to listen to us. So bodies have to come. If you want to take a bodies have to be created somehow or the other in the whole universe as a universe.
And the way to get out of the game is to realize you are in the game, like realize that you need the validation in the thing. That is how we become one whole, right? Like everybody together.
That is also how we are one anyway.
Yeah.
We are one anyway.
Yeah.
Of course, game is unnecessary. You just tell me if we are playing a game, cricket.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, just now PlayStation. उसका क्या purpose है?
Good purpose.
नहीं है.
Yeah.
So unnecessary. Can I say it unnecessary? It is unnecessary. Yes. But will you stop just because it is unnecessary? No. So similarly, we are already one. So while again dividing myself and again kind of trying to unite, etc., that seems very unnecessary, especially in this scale. But that is the nature of the game. That is by definition, it's a game. Game is unnecessary.
Got it.
So until my whole point is, until everybody understands, everybody is at peace, everybody knows how much I know. There is no use of knowing. Just by me, I mean, I'm not, you know, I don't need anything, or I like, there is nothing, even if there is something, there is nothing for me to know more than, even then I'm not free. Because you also should know it, other person also should know it. Why should Vivekananda, for example, because you said Vivekananda is a guru, that is what you believe. Now, why does Vivekananda have to travel so much? If you just look at his, losing his sleep and, you know, insulted at the risk of being, when he was wearing orange, etc. People are, racists, and so many people attacking, etc. So many things happened, in his life, and Sri Ramakrishna's life, etc. Why they don't have any reason to undergo all of those things? There's nothing. They can be happy. I can also be happy. Why do I have to talk to you? Why do you have to answer your questions? Nothing, right?
Yeah.
Still, I will do that. That is the, by design, that chain is there. So, my knowledge, just because if I'm knowledgeable, all those people who tell you spirituality means being liberated, you can never be liberated until even one person is under bondage. Your liberation will not have meaning.
By from that point of view, in my lifetime, like in
that is why this lifetime is so insignificant that, it doesn't really matter.
But it tells you, like, his lifetime with this body, that it's not going to happen.
And why should you even expect that it should happen? Because you are a continuous being. Continuous means, I think you understood.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a continuous being, but there is no end to it. You will still be continuing. And if you don't have more bodies, then how will you continue? Your work is also there so much, because all of these people must realize whatever I have realized.
Too much work.
So okay. Now here is coming.
Why is it so difficult?
It's not difficult.
It's not easy.
No. That is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Pressure is what we are creating. Actually, that person, through you, I am only playing this game. Through you, I am asking this projection of me. Through that projection of me.
I get
that joke is like. So. You are asking me, but this is all just a confirmation of what I know already, like that, etc. It's not difficult. I mean, whenever you reduce your vision to a certain narrow or a shallow or a short vision, right? That is when you think it is difficult, because the scale is too much. But what are you? You are the full depth is you only. Full 360 degrees you are only. There is no narrow this one. And you are not shallow. Depth is there. And length also. Length bhi kuch bhi. Matlab continuous. All the time. So your vision, what are you, is defined by your vision. कितना दूर देख सकते हो? अरे पूरा जितना है उतना देख सकते हैं हम. कितना डेप्थ देख सकते हो? जितना है उतना. 360 डिग्री देख सकते हो. तभी आपका विजन अगर ऐसा है, हर चीज आसान है. आसान मतलब तभी का तभी हो जाना है ऐसा नहीं है. लाइक एंड टाइम डजंट हैव वैल्यू देन. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. यू विल बी ऑफ टाइम, यू विल बी बियॉन्ड टाइम देन. इसका टाइम का कोई मतलब कोई विशिष्टता नहीं है. ज्यादा विशिष्टता नहीं है. सो एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर विद इन टाइम, योर माइंड इज विद इन टाइम, you will have that sense of tiredsomeness. Whatever you are, whoever you are, whatever you do, as long as you think within the causation matlab cause and effect chain, and within the framework of time, you will feel you are tired sometime. You will never be tired once you understand what being out of this is. तो वो विजन डेवलप करना है. वो विजन जो डेप्थ वो मैं बताया ना, वो विजन डेवलप करना है. वो विजन, दैट इज स्पिरिचुअलिटी.
Got it. How do you practically keep?
And that is why I see all these people who are like नहीं मैं ये practice करूँगा, spiritual practice करूँगा and मैं भगवान को प्राप्त करूँगा, हो जाएगा. नहीं, I'm not saying that, I'm not disrespecting that. But I'm only saying भाई ये सब तुम करोगे, तुम जो सोच रहे हो कि ultimate liberation वो भी हो जाएगा, liberate होके क्या करोगे? क्या कर, वो नहीं सोच पा रहे, उसके आगे नहीं सोच पा रहे. कोई उनके मन में आइडिया डाल दिया लिबरेशन होना है, लिबरेट होना है तुमको, वो लिबरेशन करके चल रहा है. लिबरेट होके क्या करोगे? एक्चुअली आज तुम लिबरेट नहीं हो, ऐसा क्यों सोचते हो? आज भी जो नेचुरल लॉस अप्लाई हो रहा है ना तुम्हारे ऊपर, उस समय भी अप्लाई होगा. तो जस्ट बिकॉज सम नेचुरल लॉस आर अप्लाइड ऑन यू, गेटिंग फुलफिल, लाइक दे आर सक्सेसफुल ऑन यू, दैट डजंट मीन यू आर बाउंड.
बट लिबरेशन उसके बाद तो ये होता है ना कि आफ्टर यू,
फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई एम सेइंग आई हैव टाइड यू टू दिस डोर, तो यू आर बाउंड. somebody untied you, now you are liberated. तो उसके बाद क्या करोगे भाई? वो भी तो है ना, वो थर्ड पार्ट भूल जा रहे हैं लोग. You are now bound. Okay, I understand. Because you are bound, the next first step that you are thinking is that you have to be, because while you are bound you cannot do anything. So you have to be free. Fine. उतना मैं समझता हूँ. But once you are free, क्या करोगे? ये करने के लिए फ्रीडम है. तुम्हारा फ्रीडम का पर्पस क्या है? अच्छा, फ्रीडम का पर्पस क्या है?
फ्रीडम का पर्पस है, अगर एक उस मतलब लिबरेशन का रीजन अगर बोलो तो सफरिंग को इवेट करने के लिए.
वो तो करोगे, ठीक है. सफरिंग को अवॉइड करके फिर यू आर नॉट सफरिंग नाउ, फॉर एग्जांपल. उसके बाद क्या करोगे? सफरिंग को अवॉइड करना ही. अगर ऐसा है कि लाइक ए पर्सन हु इज इन डेट, हिज ऑल फोकस एंड एनर्जीज आर डेडिकेटेड टू पेइंग बैक दैट डेट. ओके, यू नो व्हेन दैट पर्सन इज हैप्पी, एक दिन पूरा, एक महीने में पूरा वो मतलब वो डेट फुलफिल पे बैक कर लिया, तो बहुत हैप्पी हो जाएगा, है ना. वो ऐसा इतना हैप्पी हो जाएगा, भाई मैं इतना हैप्पी हूँ, साला मेरा तो डेट है ही नहीं. मेरा तो डेट है ही नहीं, तो मैं कितना हैप्पी रहूंगा. राइट. यू हैड ए डेट एंड नाउ यू पेड ऑफ. दैट इज नॉट, मतलब जो नहीं करना था उसको, मतलब जो अवॉइडेबल है. और फॉर एग्जाम्पल व्हाट इज है, कोई डिजीज आ गया था आपको, आप डिजीज को जय किया, आप हेल्थ आ गया. मगर हेल्दी होके क्या करोगे? वो तो इम्पोर्टेंट है. आपका लाइफ मतलब क्या है? व्हेन यू आर हेल्दी, व्हेन यू आर डेट फ्री, व्हाट यू विल डू, दैट इज व्हाट लाइफ इज अबाउट. ये तो नेगेटिव चीज है. मतलब आपको डिजीज आ गया तो नेगेटिव में चला गया, जीरो भी नहीं आया. जीरो के बाद पॉजिटिव में भी जाना है ना. अब लोग जीरो में आके रुकना चाह रहे हैं, या जीरो वही उतना तक की गेम समझ में आ रहा है, क्योंकि वो इतना नेगेटिव में है कि वो लोग जीरो तक आना चाहते हैं. मगर जीरो के बाद भी है ना.
ओके,
आप जीरो के बाद इतना गेम है, मैं जो समझाया आपको, वो सब समझने के बाद आपको लगता है भाई ये करने के बाद भी मुझे ऐसा ही मतलब ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर सिचुएशन ही रहेगा मेरा. फ्री होने के बाद भी सिमिलर सिचुएशन. विवेकानंद वाई इज डूइंग ऑल दैट वर्क. करना ही पड़ेगा. मुझे क्यों करना ही पड़ेगा. क्योंकि जब तक वो पूरा फुलफिल नहीं होगा तो नहीं होगा.
तो व्हाई नॉट डू मोर ऑफ दिस वर्क?
करना है, मतलब नहीं, माई विल इज देयर.
नहीं, मैं बोल रहा हूँ,
सुनिए, मुझे करने के लिए है. मगर आपका विल नहीं है तो आज तक अभी तक मैं बात कर सकता क्या? कर सकता नहीं कर सकता.
बट
विवेकानंद भी, इसलिए विवेकानंद भी 40 साल में खत्म करके मुझे जाना है भाई, मैं चले जाऊंगा, मैं इतना देर रुक नहीं सकता. मतलब वेस्ट है. मैं जो बोलना है बोल दिया. He said very clearly, and I quote, what am I is written on my forehead. Okay, if you can't read it, it is your loss, not mine. Number one, वो एक बताया. Number two, people want me to be sweet. I don't have time to be sweet. Okay, I will have to give my message and go. He was blunt in whatever he said. He was bold. He was throwing truth bombs on Western people, whether they can digest or not. He didn't care. He didn't care to make it polite. He did make it polite wherever he wanted, but he cannot make it forever polite, right? So what is sweet by their definition is you be forever polite. And if you are forever polite, you cannot give the message, right? So he said no. So all the lady disciples, generally ladies are very worried about words that you use, okay? They want him to be very sweeter, etc., etc. He said, I don't have time to be sweet to this world. I will give my message. Whoever will take, they will take or not. Otherwise, I will again anyway have to work, right? So your question was?
What about Buddha? है ना? So Buddha never talked about that there is another level of liberation that is left even for him, right? Because all of the humanity together, all of the existence together has not achieved that yet, because Buddha is in that same timeline that we are in, right? Like it's same earth and everything and time, right? So and we have not collectively reached there. So Buddha is not liberated from that point of view, right? But Buddha never talked about that.
नहीं, जो बुद्धा आप बता रहे हो, आप सिद्धार्थ के बारे में
सिद्धार्थ के बारे में बता रहा हूँ, correct
है ना? सिद्धार्थ उस बॉडी का नाम था. बुद्धा इज नॉट द नेम ऑफ दैट बॉडी. बुद्धा इज एन अवेकेंड पर्सन को बुद्धा बोलते हैं. ओके, तो वो अवेकेंड पर्सन जो है, उनका जो बॉडी था वो मर गया था. वो द कनेक्शन बिटवीन दैट बॉडी एंड बुद्धा लेफ्ट. सो वी आर नॉट एबल टू रिकॉग्नाइज बुद्धा, वेयर ही इज नाउ, व्हाट ही इज डूइंग, एटसेट्रा. बट इज ही देयर टुडे और नॉट? विथ और विदाउट बॉडी या विथ बॉडी? इज ही देयर? इवन इफ ही हैज बॉडी, वी डोंट नो. ओके, विदाउट बॉडी तो ऐसे ही नहीं समझ में आता है. तो unless you understand that there is a consciousness and consciousness is always continuous, उसका कोई एंड नहीं रहता है. अगर ऐसा समझोगे, वो कॉन्शियस यूनिट को आप बुद्धा बोल रहे हो, तो वो बुद्धा अभी भी है. अब अगर है तो क्या कर रहा है? दैट इज अ क्वेश्चन. अब विवेकानंद भी मर गया, मगर विवेकानंद जो बॉडी है वो मर गया बोल रहे हैं हम, मगर विवेकानंद का कॉन्शियसनेस अब क्या कर रहा है? दैट इज माई क्वेश्चन टू ऑल दिस पीपल हु फॉलो विवेकानंद ऑल्सो. वो क्या कर रहा है? वो क्या चाहता है आके आप करो? तभी तो